Hello guys, today I'm going to be reading my first actual publishing quality story, Origins of Bivarudal, Part 1, The Exodus. If you're reading this from Bivarudal, now you know your origins. I gotta say, what a humble start. It was very well planned though. Well, you know what they say, good planning equals good results. I walked through the hallways of my workplace, cleaning and mopping as I went along. The building was only adequate. No more, no less. Whoever built it did not have avarice as a problem. While walking, I overheard a speech and decided to eavesdrop. Men of our great and beloved organization. The earth is no longer a decent place for the book smart. They are no longer prioritized. Now it's the charismatic that have taken power, while the book smart are mocked and teased. We can see the effects of this worldwide negligence of knowledge, for its advances are slowing, its economy is going down, and its leadership has only gotten worse and worse. Little comment, I think we're beginning to see this today. If we stay on this earth any longer, I fear this very organization, one of the last bastions of knowledge, will erode into one of Earth's failures. You might be asking how I plan to get this organization out of Earth. Simple. Elon Musk is doing a rocket launch to make the first colony on Mars. There are so far 1,500 in our organization, so we will have 500 males and 500 females stowaway on the rockets to Mars. After this, they will secretly colonize Mars, and may those colonies multiply as their people multiply, so that those colonies may turn into nations and kingdoms. I'll explain how you're supposed to achieve this. I'll say it now. Those who want to volunteer will be a crucial part of something bigger and more outlasting than themselves. Now, once you arrive on Mars, you will be surveyed. After this, you will be paired with the most matching person of the opposite gender. Please, for Lord's sake, do not try to introduce other genders into this. We can't afford to have our project ruined by stupidity. Oh, man. I don't think I need to explain where this leads. Now, do we have volunteers? Said Kurul, the leader of the organization for all knowledge. OFAC. I walked in and said, "Count me in, sir." I'll be honest. When I said this, I was doing it out of love. I mean, come on. Some of the people I saw some of the people on here. And there were some hotties. Sir, are you volunteering out of a genuine desire to be part of something bigger than yourself? Or are you doing it out of blind and foolish lust? Said Kurul, who says if he could read my mind. Oh, fact, forgive me for lying to this benevolent man's face, I whispered under my breath while walking to the man to answer. Sir, I am true in my desire to be part of this project for something bigger than me. After saying these words, all I thought was someone save me from this man's wrath. But the man believed me. Sir, for volunteering out of a genuine desire to help us, you may take the seat for whoever you choose who has not volunteered. I took a seat and tried to listen to the rest of the meeting, but all I heard was a free trip to Mars and guaranteed sex. I did notice that only 100 volunteered, and they needed 1,000 for this project. Oh well, the launch isn't until 2030, which is 3 months from now. Surely they'll have more volunteers by then. After the meeting, I go home and relax. My routine is no longer in play, as I'll be training for a launch. A week in the wait, I checked the news. Well, I'll be damned. It's about OFAC. Wait a minute. Is that? No way. Oh, shoot. Now I'm jobless. Wait a minute. Is that my name? I'm gonna be arrested. Oh, beep. I turn off the TV and go to the car. After that, I covered the license plate in a paint they learned blocks license plate readers. My windows are too tinted for any face recognition machine to use my face. Now that my car is a bubble of anonymity, I get in and drive off as fast as legally possible. While driving, I sold my house for $250,000 worth of gold. Then, on GPS, got the notification for the pickup spot. When I got to the pickup spot, I noticed it was just a group of cop cars. So I kept driving, then I heard them pull me over. Shoot! I decided to act naturally, like I wasn't the guy they wanted. What the beep did you pull me over for, you hooligans? Driving fast? Oh, for goodness sake, I wasn't even going over the speed limit. Now let me out before I let myself off. My barrage of words worked. The cops let me off. I took the opportunity to drive off, once again being careful to stay on the speed limit. 1 mile over, and they had the right to pull me over and ask for my license. Something that at this time I could not afford to happen. While driving, I realized I was already a criminal. Might as well embrace it. I had my gun with me, and there was a bank along the way, so I decided to collect some free money. I needed it since I unknowingly sold my house to the police, who didn't even give me my gold. Everyone on the ground now! Bank teller, open this spot before I blow your brains out. Yes, sir. The vault's opening now. Sir, please don't hurt me, said the bank teller. I made my way to the vault and only took the gold. It was untrackable, untraceable, a completely anonymous currency. Like the decent man I was, I only took $250K worth of gold, the amount I was scammed out of by the police. I didn't account for taxes. Oh right, I forgot. Gold ain't taxable as well. After my bank stunt, I drove off and used the gold to buy an old RV from 2000. It had none of the fancy stuff added in the 2020s, but it was cheap and fully functional. And it only cost $100K to buy, but it was a 25 meters long and 5 meters wide and tall. After paying for the RV, I decided to stay in the seller's garage for the weekend. He let me, as it didn't cause any problems or cost him any money. I stayed for the weekend because I wanted to add some new features. For example, on day one, I programmed a fully owner-obeying, voice-controlled, self-driving AI system in the RV. The AI can even disobey the law if I demand it to. Uh-oh. On day 2, I upgraded the engine. It was fully functional but outdated, and overall lesser engines than today's engines. It took me half the day, but by the time I had finished, the engine could outspeed any cop car and would never have to stop for gas. Hallelujah! On the other half of the day, I tinted the windows. That way, no face recognizer could see or catch my face through it. I also painted the license plate with the same paint I used on the one for the car. I woke up at 7 o'clock to the sound of cop cars. "Male bitch must have ratted me out," I whispered under my breath. Then the garage closed and the door to the other parts of this place locks. I ain't gonna let myself be arrested. So I start the RV and, oh shoot, it's locked. So I start making a plan. The cops are gonna be here any minute. So I decided to hack into the system and remove the lock. Yes, there is a firewall, but I put it there so I could easily bypass it. After that, I demand the AI driver to drive through the garage door like it's nothing but air. And the next thing I know, I'm on the highway in a rolling house. After eating breakfast on the move, I called up my coworkers to see if any managed to evade the law, or at least stay out of jail. Unfortunately, 60% of the OFAC was arrested, and another 20% were executed due to Elon's influence in the courts, said my dearest coworker, John. He's a room prepper. He set up the room where their entire idea was spoken. When I heard the news, I was devastated. I knew some of these people, and now they're in prison or even dead. Imprisoning my coworkers I could take, but kill them? No, this is it. Elon must pay. I grabbed my gun and prepared for a mission. Elon Musk must die. Before you go assassinating Elon, remember who's making and launching those rockets that we're gonna stow away on. What we need to do is a prison bust. In the meantime, let's get some sleep, recommended John. I only got 6 hours of good sleep. Knowing most of your coworkers are in prison keeps you up at night. I woke up to a bunch of cars surrounding my still driving RV, but they weren't cop cars. No reason to procrastinate. It's time for the prison bust, said a coworker. I hooked the AI driver to the coordinates of the prison. Then we started driving there. This is going to be a long day of action. Then I heard the cop cars heading for us. Shoot! Yo, you got any weapons? Said one of my workers. Of course not. This is an RV, not a military bus. No, well then what the hell do you have in that rolling house? Oh boy. And said an angry coworker. RV stuff! Okay, actually I think I have a gun somewhere. Here. Turns out I did have a gun. Found it. Yep, I've got a weapon. What else am I supposed to do? Pull over and drive away? 'Cause I can. No. I won't run for the cops any longer. Today's the day of action. Everyone out the way. These cop cars better get some bullets. I pulled the trigger. It was quite a big gun actually, and shot very fast. So I began my bullet spray, and a cop car went to the side of my RV. Then the driver abandoned his car to grapple on the side of my RV and get inside it. I pulled out a long, sharp, and thick dagger. This was officially the closest I'd been to arrest. You are under arrest on account of evasion of the law, mass murder, destruction of property, and, said the cop, I don't give a beep, brave bitch. Okay, that's it, sucker mouth. This is now personal. The fight started when the cop started shooting his pistol at me. I dodged the first two, but the last bullet hit me in the arm I was using to carry the dagger. I didn't feel it though, but I did drop the dagger. Nevertheless, I picked it up during a cartwheel, and I jumped to the cop's face and stabbed the intruder in the side of the head. Then I realized something. I was injured, and it was bad. Blood was gushing out of my forearm like water from a licking pipe. I needed to find a doctor or at least a first aid kit now. Luckily, one of my coworkers was a doctor, so he treated the wound quick. After that, I continued to drive where the state prison was, and then I saw it. The station is where they are likely keeping people like me. I decided to make my way there and explained why. Coworkers, trust me on this. We should head for that station there, because if we eliminate that place, then they won't be able to send reinforcements to the prison. My coworkers were persuaded, so we made our way there. Before we did that, we bought some weapons and explosives. After that, we got to the gates and blew them open. This was it. The bust had begun. The first part was easy. Blow the gates and run over everything with my big RV. The hard part came when we had to go inside. See, now they will be expecting us. Not something you want when trying to attack something. If you think just ram yourself inside, you are wrong. You'd be surprised how fast a hustling force can set up a defense. So my coworkers snuck in from the top while I stayed outside waiting for their forces to be distracted so I could ram myself in without being obliterated. So far the plan was working. I could hear the commotion inside. Sneaker, it seems you have distracted our enemies, so I am going in. I repeat, I am going in. Big brute, you may repeat, Sneaker said. I rammed the REV in, and on the outside, it looked like a mosquito bite, but on the inside, it was startling, surprising, terrifying. What the? Everyone on that RV, said one of the cops. I was inside, and so I began my rampage. I'd use a chaos montage, but since this is a book, I'll have to describe everything manually. I ran over every single thing in sight that was not my coworkers or something we could loot. However, I had to stop so we could store everything we looted in my RV. After the rampage, the station was in ruins. We looted everything we saw. There was no way anyone would use the place anytime soon. After the raid, we left for the prison. Unfortunately, they will be expecting us. While driving, we start whipping up a plan. How are we gonna do this? We could do the same thing we did at the station, said a coworker. No, they know we're coming. They'll set up spikes on the road to prevent that. How about we abandon the mission? Said a pessimist. Hell no, this is a prison bus, not the robbery of the century. Many stupid ideas were suggested, but eventually we agreed to have someone sneak to the prison walls and detonate one of the bombs we got during the station raid. After this, I would go to the hole quickly, followed by the others. I would stay in the outside area to receive the rescued, while the others would be freeing all the prisoners and rescuing our organization. Once we finished the operation, we would get out as quick as we could. We could not afford to waste time. So we got there, and our plan went into motion. We sent a man to detonate the bomb, and from there it worked smoothly. That was until a helicopter from Elon Security Force arrived with 100 men. Dun dun dun! This was it. Our operation failed. OFAC would die, and corporations would go on to dominate the galaxy and then the universe. No, I refuse to accept. Fight to the last man! So we did eventually gain the high ground, and after a long shootout, we finally defeated the security forces. Right when we thought it was over, 5 cars full of police arrived. Oh, beep! This was when I realized we were now in it for the long game. So we spent 5 hours fighting. And oh my, what the hell, okay. So we spent hours fighting. We suffered additional casualties, but we pushed on. After 7 hours of fighting, we emerged victorious. This was it. The fight was over. So we licked our wounds, packed up, and went back on the road. Now is a good time to talk about what I think of all this. I had gone from regular life as a janitor to evading the law to fighting in brutal battles with it. I had also gone from a regular house to a rolling RV, and soon I'm gonna be going to Mars? When I realized this, I couldn't believe myself. But what had happened happened. So here we are now. So we waited. We didn't expect anything to happen during the wait. We actually started relaxing until Elon announced the launch would be happening in February 2030, not May 2030. Wait, what? February? It's January 29th. We need to get to the launch site now! Said Kirill. The fuck you think I'm doing? The drive was long. It took us until February 1st to get to the city of the launch. We woke up at the launch site. Yo, we're here, said a coworker. We can relax for a day, said another coworker. So we did. And the day of the launch came. Sound warning. Wake up! Wake up! Said Kirill. I'm awake! Said every single one of my coworkers. We made our way to the rockets and went aboard in employee costumes. When we entered the main body of the rocket, our disguises fell off. Fuck! Who the hell are you guys? Said an actual employee. Stowaways. Get those stowaways off the rocket, said another employee. Sir, we're getting more and more reports of stowaways, said another one. No way, you're the ones that planned the stowaway plot. But that can't be right, you guys were thrown in, unless, said the employees. That's right, ass faces, we were the ones from OFAC, said Coral. And we've got weapons. I don't get paid enough for this, said an employee. Thanks to the fact that rockets are already taken off and were well out of the law's reach, as soon as we revealed we had weapons, the employees abandoned all loyalties and did what we said. After that, we paid them back. We were stowaways, not sickos. This would mark the beginning of the end of our journey. Our exodus, you might say. During the 2 months, we managed to convince just enough for the project to work. Our last scuffle would be a shootout with some security that was loyal to Elon. I realized this would be something bigger than me when we arrived at Mars and knew we would create a new nation to replace a dying OFAC. I felt like one of the Israelites when they went into the Promised Land, and Kuro must have felt like Moses. On Earth, OFAC would be dissolved. I don't care what happened after that. I don't know what happened after that, but I don't care. Still, I enjoy what we had to do. It's just now I understand the why. So as the story comes to an end, remember this. When volunteering for a project, don't just listen to the what, listen to the why.